Hey there out there, YouTube land. It's Cudaslayer again, aka Spike Punch. Kind of running a little late on this video blog thing. Not being again, life's been interfering. So I kind of decided to kind of cut time down a little. I do a vlog from work, and oh, mind the ninja exit back there. Anyway, let's see. Well, I've seen like at least the first 3 episodes of Gundam Age. These originally aired between October 9th to the 23rd back in 2011. And it's kind of funny when I'm watching a series like this that it kind of reminds me of what normally a lot of fans go through when they see something new in a franchise they have followed for a long time. There's always like kind of the first stage where they're really excited, you know, oh boy, they're finally doing something with this series that I've been enjoying for a long time, and then it kind of builds up to finally they release the series, and then when everyone sees it there, the first reaction is always, you know, what the hell, you know, where are they thinking? What have they done to my favorite series? Why have they made all these changes? And that kind of goes through the long process of embitterment, then disheartening, and then finally apathy, and then begrudgingly you finally accept the changes as they are, and you kind of start seeing the value within what's in it. And I think that it's pretty obvious to me that it's going to take a long time for me to really get used to this, all the changes I've noticed. But I guess instead of dwelling on that, I'm going to talk about things that I actually do like about the series. One of the first things I liked was that the colony designs. One of the big things I always enjoyed about Gundam was the design of the space colonies that they used. It's interesting how they had taken the original O'Neill cylinders and adapted them, and it kind of worked out in those quirks and everything that that were in the original design phase, and make changes here and there. And it's like if you really want to go into that, there's a website called Gundam High Frontier. I don't have the URL with me. It's direstraits.com or something like that. But it's interesting that it goes through a real in-depth look into all the Gundam colony designs and the science behind them, and further into the O'Neill designs and the other design studies that were part of the same project during the 70s. And or even better yet, if you want to, hunt down a copy of the book High Frontiers by Gerald O'Neill. I got about 3 copies of it myself. It's as far as I know, it should still be in print. I thought the designs on those were pretty interesting for this series around. Ship design was fairly interesting as well. Kind of gotten a little bit away from the previous designs on ships. They look a little bit more actual realistic, kind of actual more practical. And let's see, what else was there? And as you watch the show, it's kind of interesting some of the nods. You see some of the previous shows that have been done. I saw a lot of references to the Universal Century line, especially the very early series. Then some of the characters are kind of turning out to be rather interesting, like this Captain Grodek, who reminds me a lot of Bright Noah, but there's, they're kind of hinting at there's something a lot more going on, and I won't spoil it for you, but some of the things he does in the series, in these first 3 episodes, is rather interesting in how he actually takes command of the ship, and then actually, and it's kind of interesting how he uses his authority to, get the mission started and everything. And then Urine, I think that's how I pronounce her name. That's kind of interesting. I've noticed that looks like she, to me, resembles a very solid nod to Lala San from the first series, which is, I suspect, is kind of probably play a pivotal role later on in the show. And probably won't end well if it knowing Gundam. Now the things I don't like. I really don't like the character designs. There's just something about recent anime that has just really gotten strange on the designs. Like one that really kind of got on my nerves was the character Vegas, who is supposed to become a grandfather figure. He's one of the Gundam techs, and for some odd reason, for the Asian stereotype, he kind of goes throughout the entire series with his eyes closed most of the damn time, and only seems to open them when the situation becomes like, ooh, so serious. And that's kind of a little hard to accept. That's like, really? Is this kind of... We all know about the Asian stereotypes and everything, but is this really something that should really come into the series, or let alone... Is this really there should be something part of a character like that? I just thought it was kind of... I've seen it in other anime before, and I just never really been all that impressed by it, or it never really did anything for me. Let's see, what else was it? Oh yes, having a kid in charge of Gundam design. The series, if you're not familiar with the series is supposed to take several hundred years in the future, which a lot of people have been kind of suspecting it's somewhere between the very end of Gundam Unicorn, which is the last part of the... no, actually, I take that back. Gundam Victory Gundam was one of the last parts of the official Universal Century series, and then after that is several thousand years further is Turn of Gundam. Gundam Age supposedly takes place somewhere in between those two, and after supposedly so many years of war and everything, war is finally outlawed and all weapons are no longer allowed to be manufactured or whatever, and all that technology is kind of hidden away, so everyone's supposed to quote-unquote live in peaceful times. But then all of a sudden, they rediscover that, ooh, there's a need for this technology now, and trying to rediscover and everything. And one of the things that kind of really bothers me is the fact they got a kid in charge of Gundam design. The Flit, supposing he gets this device called the Age device, which is kind of rather ambiguous for what it is really supposed to be, because it functions everything as a cell phone to a key for the Gundam itself, and then as a data storage unit, whatever. And I'm not really impressed by what I've seen of the Age device so far. Supposedly the Gundam Age unit itself is supposed to have this self-evolving ability where after fighting for some time, the main device, the big egg, or whatever you want to call it, in the Diva ship is supposed to be able to come up with new devices to help upgrade the Gundam and help it evolve over time. And then the original source of the Gundam itself, the base unit was supposed to have been designed by this kid who inherited the Age device from his mother. And I know it's Gundam, it's supposed to be aimed at kids, it's a big TV commercial for toys, and yada yada yada. I understand it, but there's kind of something about, really, it had you suspend your disbelief for the fact that a kid would be this in charge of anything, and I kind of really hoping that changes later in the series. The other thing I've not liked is the unknown enemy. I like the designs of the enemy units. They're kind of pretty good about masking who they are and why they're doing what they're doing and whatnot. And there's kind of some interesting ways how they're using. You try to say a lot without saying really anything. That has kind of been somewhat interesting, but I am kind of just watching all the little hints and everything they're dropping. I suspect I'm not going to like these enemy. They're, from what I can tell, they're not like any previous enemy groups in the other series, in that they don't really seem to be more bad guy than actual reasonable bad guy. In the first Universal Century, Gundam Wing, some of the series, and Gundam Seed and whatnot, the bad guys in the series are actually have some justifiable reasons for being who they are and doing what they do. But in this case, it seems like there's really they're just jerks. I mean, that's the only thing that I can really say. It's just they really seem to be jerks, and I have a suspicion we already have a good idea who the hell they're going to turn out to be later. Let's see what else. What was another complaint I had? I don't know if it's just me, but I'm having a real hard time not mocking this show so far. If you're familiar with the Mystery Science Theater series of TV shows where they mock movies and such, it's kind of hard not to really mock the dialogue that happens in the show and some of the little action and such. It's just kind of funny. You sit back and you almost have to bite your tongue to not blurt some of the things that come to mind. It's like one scene where the little ball robot Haru gets kicked down a hallway, and it's kind of really hard for me not to just go, "It's good!" when the character does that, and it's I don't know, it's just me being poisoned by Mystery Science Theater after so many years, or it's the fact that it's kind of hard for them to do shows like this without having bizarre little sets of dialogue where it just doesn't really make sense, or it wouldn't really be something that someone actually would say. It's because there's a lot of lines where I notice that they keep repeating. Like if you seem like one part was one of the most overcommonly used lines was don't tell me. It's like it's almost like you can develop a drinking game based off that alone. But hopefully that might just be a problem with the translation, or it might just be bad writing in general. Let's see, what was the other part? Oh, Haru. I don't understand why they keep bringing this character back. This is about the third or fourth time they've resurrected this character for no real apparent reason except for just the sense of comic relief. On the other hand, the only thing I can certainly say is at least this time around he's not quite as annoying, but still annoying nonetheless, and has at least a bit more functionality than previously. So I can kind of let that go for now. But anyway, I'm looking forward to watching the next 3 episodes and do another vlog, hopefully a lot sooner than what I'm doing right now. And well, I'll catch you guys later.